Show him that we can win too. Play Jaden when he at full power. Hit him with the mass change. Yeah, I'm the lawyer. Greg is the devour. Heroes, now it's our turn to show you that.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the discussion video. Alright, so it's this will be the third week with Isolde Hero, and if y'all watch, the past couple of discussions and as well as my past couple of videos from the tournaments, I have been going to the tournaments without, completed main deck and side deck, and we still did decently. There were a lot of plays that I wish I could have made in certain matchups and stuff that I couldn't make because I didn't have the cards. Like I think like one of the big ones was like missing Miracle Fusion 1 week, or actually 2 weeks. I was missing the Miracle Fusion, I do believe, and then I was also missing Big Chill Ab Zero one of the weeks too. Man, it just it made for some very, very interesting trying to find a way to work around some boards. But this week before I played, I checked my main deck 3 times, checked my extra deck 3 times, made sure that everything that I really felt like I was gonna need for the tournament was off in there. And yeah, we after 4 rounds of Swiss, 3 rounds in Top Cut, we actually like took first place with a Isolde Hero build. I think I won. I want to say I maybe won 1 dice roll, like possibly. I don't know. Like man, it was just like a combination of being able to like having like a going second card plus a couple ways to get monsters out on the board was like pretty good. I think like the thing I like most about the Isolde Hero deck is like if you can get 2 warriors out on the board, which heroes are pretty good about doing it, especially like where the hero lives. That card is so good. And in a lot of matchups, I know a lot of people were saying that it's what is it? Isolde is like a big target, and yes, he definitely is. But a lot of times, even before you get to Isolde, you can like force them to use whatever hand trap, like because a lot of times they want to ash a hero lives, they want to imperm or stop whatever Stratos is trying to do, or they want to stop whatever Vion is trying to do, or they want to like keep Shadow Mist from getting the mass change, depending on what the matchup is. So a lot of times you can actually like bait out whatever hand trap it is that they happen to have so that your Isolde, resolves through. And being able to hand loop your opponent for 2, that first card you get to look and see what's off in there, and then you get a random card, and then depending on what kind of deck they're playing, I'm able to either do a plasma play or either do Appaloosa. Like if they have stuff that activates in the grave or in hand, I'm gonna do Appaloosa because I don't want them summoning whatever it is they're trying to get out there on the board, or if they have like a deck where it's like a lot of stuff is going to activate on the board, I go Plasma. And Plasma is one of those cards I went ahead and added this week because I went ahead and added in Fusion Destiny because I felt like it gave me like a better chance to win. Like y'all know, I was running Draw Hand at first, and it was just like Draw Hand, the main reason why I had him off in there was for Dark Law. And unfortunately, like Dark Law is not Dark Law. It's not all that powerful this format. Kashtira, they can run D-Shifter, and like, I hate to say that like you want to focus on being able to beat one deck, but in order most of the time for you to get through Top Cut, to be able to place first, second, even probably like top 4 in some tournaments, you're gonna have to play against like 1 or 2 Kashtiras. And if that's the top deck of the format, you want to make sure that your deck is like optimized as much as possible to be able to win that format. Like especially if you go to a regional, you're probably gonna play it 3 or 4 times, and if you can't beat that deck, you're not gonna be able to top or win any tournament. So it's just like you have to prepare mostly for the deck that's going to be top at the meta, and then if your deck can beat that top meta deck, then most likely you're going to be able to beat all the rogue matchups and all the other matchups that you'll play against, and that's the way I felt, the way I went into deck building. So after seeing how ineffective Dark Law really was, going up against Cash and a lot of these other decks, like even Branded Despia doesn't really care all that much because they can use their Banish Pal to do stuff. So I decided to go ahead and cut the little draw hand part and just go with the Mally Denier package, to give myself more options when I was playing. And then like at that point I was like, well, if I'm gonna play that, I might as well throw in Fusion Destiny also. And then when I put in the Fusion Destiny, I was just like, if my opponent does stop like all my plays, I don't want to just be able to activate Fusion Destiny and bring DPE out, and then that's pretty much about it. So I went ahead and added in Plasma also because Fusion Destiny is basically one card Plasma DPE. So yeah, like that engine actually like helped up quite a bit. Like the only time it was like troublesome was when I actually like opened up like multiple Fusion Destinies, which happened like quite a few times. But I want to say even those games and stuff, like we either fought through and my opponent like did something crazy in order to be able to win the game, or DPE was just able to grind it out until we pulled off the victory. And that's what he does. And I feel like I'm glad to have him back. Like, oh, that card is so good, man. I love DPE. So yeah, we've actually like played against. I think we played against everything. Like we played against Sprite. I think we played against Sprite Casterias. We played against Dark World. We played against Source Soul. We played against Dinos. We played against Pure Casterias, and we played against Dragon Link. Like we just kind of like played against like a lot of the different decks, and that's one of the things I like about my locals is getting to play against a variety of decks. I feel like gives me like more content. Like I'm sure y'all don't want to see me play against Kishtiras like every single round and stuff. So that's one thing I like about my locals is that you have like quite a few people up there that they're not just trying to necessarily play like what's good in the meta, but they want to play what they want to play, their favorite archetypes and stuff and everything. So it's a lot of fun. You never know what you're going to go up against up there at my local, so it's just like your deck has to be kind of prepared for everything. And that's what I kind of feel like Isolde hero is able to do, especially because I can pick between Appaloosa or Plasma now, get that DPE out there on the board. Dark Law is still there if I need him. Actually, like when I played against Dark World, in my first round, I played against Dark World, and I was like, man, I can't hand loop this person. I was like, I'm glad he won the dice roll and went first, because if I had tried to hand loop him, I probably would have just auto lost that game. But fortunately, his he didn't open up too well. I was able to take game one after losing the dice roll, and game two, he was able to get it. Like my hand just wasn't strong enough to play through his negates and everything that he had. And then game three, I focused on, since I can't hand loop him, my idea came to let me get out Dark Law and DPE. That way, I can, shut down whatever it is he's trying to do, and that's what we did, and we were able to get the game. So yeah, like the deck, it performed very well. The only thing I didn't like was like there was one point where I really wanted to go Shining Neo's Wingman, but I actually like ended up having to cut it. And yeah, like I would like to be able to work him back off in there. I would really like to have Babushka off in there, for those times when I really need him. But other than that, couldn't complain. There were a couple like games where I drew like way too many hand traps and not enough engine, and I wasn't able to do too much, and I kind of lost those games eventually. But that's the thing about playing hand traps, is like you kind of need them to play, because you need to be able to hand trap your opponent at certain intervals this game right now. And yeah, that's just the thing about running hand traps, is that you're gonna sometimes draw them without engine. And playing the deck, I really feel like Isolde hero is a lot of fun. Be able to hand loop my opponent, it's really cool and everything. But there were also like times where I just wish that I was just playing like Omni hero, because I was like, man, I would be able to play through a little bit more with this hand if I was playing like Omni hero. I think there was even one point where like my opponent, I ashed him and he couldn't actually do anything, and I had Fusion Destiny and I couldn't OTK my opponent just because of the way my deck is built. I don't have Urscarado inside of my extra deck to be able to make the Miracle Fusion plays with to be able to make Miracle Fusion plays. So I actually had to let him survive a turn because I couldn't like quite OTK him. But overall, like I said, the deck performed well. Like I was able to get off in there and win my matchups. I don't think I won a dice roll. Like y'all actually see that in my videos. Like I don't think I won a single dice roll. All and like the one dice roll that I felt like I was gonna win, I rolled an 11, and then my opponent rolled a 12. I was like, what were the chances of that happening? So yeah, I don't think I actually like won any dice rolls, to be sure. I might have won one off inside of there. So yeah, we had to go second a lot of our games. And like I said, like the deck, like certain hands, you're just able to play through so much, and it's just was really good. You know, it ran pretty good. Like, but you know, it got me thinking about Omni Hero, and like I think that Omni Hero is probably like really really powerful right now. It's got a lot of options. You know, you don't have to worry about all the restrictions that I have to worry about. You know, playing a Isolde hero. It's like I still have to keep in mind, hey, if I activate Fusion Destiny right now, I can't do like none of my link plays or anything like that. You know, and that's really the only one that's off in there. You know, I also have to think about whatever warrior I add off of Isolde. I'm not going to be able to use his effect or do anything with him. And yeah, I think that's really like, you know, about it. But yeah, it went really really good this week. I'm happy with the changes that I was able to make. We're gonna, you know, give the deck like another week or two, try it out, see if we can get another big first place finish, you know, at least, you know, break into top cut, you know, and see what we can do with the deck. So appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
Messing with the masked hero, king of games. Mask off, now you see that a hero lives. I pay half and you ask, but I'm winning games. There ain't another hero that surpasses me.